Hi, I'm Shira, and I have a very, very special guest today. For Mother's Day, I invited my mother to come and join me for some tea with Shira and to talk about her beginning knitting adventures. When did you, I know that you crocheted at one point when you were younger.
I learned in camp.
You learned in camp, okay.
Yeah.
And how old were you?
Ooh. I was probably about, 10,
10?
7, 10.
7.
They sent me away early.
What was the next crafting venture?
Nothing. Somehow I never really got into it.
Got into it until
you told me you teach.
she picked it up pretty well and pretty quickly. And then she actually recently, she recently just had a hip replacement. While she was in recovery, even when I went to visit her in the hospital, she was knitting and we would knit in the hospital together. And so she's a beginner knitter. She's still working on her first project, and that's totally okay.
Project looks good on first blush. Okay, I'm into my second ball.
Okay.
The problem is that I started out with, how many stitches did you?
I think you probably started out with 25.
I now have 43.
Okay, see, and what I always like to say about beginners is they're so advanced they don't even know it.
Is 45 stitches a lot of stitches?
Well, I mean, when you started out with 25. Yeah. So first off, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. We did a bit of a twisting our stitches thing, but then my mom really liked that, and she wanted to continue with that.
Forget about me. When I showed it to Daddy, he thought that was a nice little twist. So I kept it in.
This is a really good beginner yarn. This is Woolly's Chunky. Always, for beginners, I always suggest a lighter color just because you want to see your stitches and you want to be able to read them. But my mom, she learned the purl. I mean, she's got a stockinette going here, and I told her that stockinette curls, so she created a little border.
And every so often I made a mistake. I purled where I should have put the other, so I made a nice design in it.
Yeah,
See
a nice little design element. Yeah?
Right. I just thought it would really be cool to have the president of Lion Brand Yarn wear my first project. But I think I have the ability.
You do have the ability.
At some point.
You have such the ability. And I always say to beginners, one of my things is loose as a goose. You want to keep your stitches really loose because as a beginner at anything, you're going to always just be a little bit more just tighter. I'm really proud of you, Mom.
I am too. I like it. Now when people say, we're introduced and Daddy says that he's the head of the, and they said, do you knit? And I can say, yeah, I just began. I don't look like a total fool after 45 years. Very proud of you. I'm really very proud of you. I really am. And that and you're a good teacher. I think that you're a good teacher because you had good teachers, and it was at times hard for you to learn things, so you understand when other people don't get it.
Struggle,
and that different people learn differently in different ways.
Yeah. The other part of my little series here is tea.
Well, I have to share with you that in my family, tea was very important.
I remember.
My parents always drank tea. So it wasn't so much the tea that was important, but the important part of it was what it was served in. And a tea glass, and they were convinced, my parents would never drink tea in a cup. And they were convinced that tea, and it must be very hot, boiling, tasted different and better in a glass. Now this glass actually belonged to your grandparents. So I'm giving it to you.
I'm gonna cry.
You see why I wanted it? And I'm giving it to you. So when you do your teas with Shira, you actually have something that belonged.
Aww, this is so sweet. Thanks, Mom. I really do remember my makeup. I really do remember my grandfather always drinking tea.
A lot of tea glasses because my father was afraid that it would go out of style.
Right.
So whenever he could, he bought these tea glasses, and so now you have one.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, Mom.
You're welcome.
Oh, that was
So
really.
I thought that
I'm
this would
caught
be.
off guard.
You see,
It's a
that's
Mother's Day episode, not a Daughter's Day episode.
So I wanted you to have it. So it was from like my mother to me and me to you, and it was. I thought it was very appropriate.
I love you so much, Mommy.
Love you too, baby.
Mom, thank you so much for coming.
My pleasure.
You're a really pretty guest. Bye, everybody.
Oh.
Oh, thanks. She is a vegan. So it's really nice that she's able to really know the yarns that don't have any wool in it, and she's really familiar with them. And I had asked her today if she could pick out some of her, favorite